Hello. What? What? I'm busy. come on. Pick that up faster. Wish this game had a movement speed, attack speed mod. Move faster. Move so slow. Fucking A, it was like way over on the side. Like way over on the side. It still hit me somehow. The hitbox is like larger than the graphic. That's fair. Especially when you move so slow. I don't care, I'll keep going. Pisses me off though. Annoying. I couldn't get over to the fucking food. It's all ruined now. Wish this game did have mods. Like 40% attack speed. Move too slow in this game. At least I got a movement speed perk. That'll help a little bit at least. It'll be so hard to get around. No, you don't. You're done. Don't you dare do it again. It's lame. I lost a life because I couldn't pick up the fucking health. I got stuck by this building here. This character kind of sucks unless you have a rage build. He's not very fun to play in this mode. It's a lot more fun to play in the main mode. Because it's not random. It takes 2 bars to do any of his specials, so if you're not built up somehow, you're like never going to be able to do much. It's the big weakness of this character. Very meter-intensive character, reliance, I guess would be a better word. bringing it back. Playing a bit better now. Having some meter gain really helps on this character, otherwise he really sucks. What do we got here? None of this is really meter gain, so... I'm gonna take this, just because you kind of take a lot of hits with this character, unless you have a lot of meter. And you can kind of just bully the enemies. Should be boss up next. Try to build some bar. How's it going? I'm okay today. Alright today. So slow! To double the movement speed. Should be close to another extend. Kind of need him more on this character than Prime. I'm a lot better with Prime. Oh hey, we got the Arthur attack. Good. I don't don't know if this was really good on those characters because it's kind of slow. I feel like it's better on Prime because you can hit a lot faster. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Arthur. Go with the Arthur buff. I told you not to touch it. If I get for the combo, it'll be nice to have that. I already have like a way to get meter damage back. Need to execute. Fuck. Get rid of these guys quick. It's not giving me it's not giving me for the combo. Refusing to give it to me. It's like the worst stuff. Damn, that was clean. Got bodied, shredded. I didn't waste super there either. It's time for the worst boss in the game. Worst non-nest boss is this boss. That's actually a really shitty thing to take on this character because most of his special attacks, his special combos go off his hold, so you never want to take that. It's pretty much giving me like the worst stuff possible here. There's bad items all around. If I could get for the combo, I think I would probably plow through this. It's not giving it to me. It's bad seed. Damn it, couldn't execute him. Don't have any bar. There we go. Another extend. Nice. Alright, what do we got this time? Damn, he got destroyed. Probably gonna die on the next screen, but that's some burst damage for you right there. Just completely shredded. Just to try to get over to somebody and QTA them. Damn it, they're just like not dying. This character sucks when you have no bar. Can't do anything with no bar. Too slow. Can't combo anything. He just will not die. Not dying. So slow. Finally, they're actually dying for once. This character is only fun if you have meter gain. It's the only time this character is fun. I think his special should cost only 1 bar. This would not happen so much. You just feel like you can't do much, because it takes 2 bars to do anything. Biggest weakness of this character. You need 2 bars to really mount an offense. Just die. I don't want to waste bar. Doesn't even let me fucking execute. I need to buff this character. It's too weak when you don't have any bar. It's not giving me any meter gain at all. It's all just useless stuff. Like the worst possible things. This game has a lot of useless items. Should be like more meter gain. You want me to build 2 bars to attack even once. Should be like less useless stuff in the pool. It's a lot of real junk items. They're only good for like some characters. Not this one. It's alright, we'll still finish. We'll play it out. This is not really the best run. Could clear a lot faster if I had more meter gain. It's pretty much only giving me 2 things that regain bar. And not as good as for the combo. Okay, how are you not dead? Should have been dead already. Or just survive somehow with no health. Fucking dead ages ago. Not die. Oh, I'm not gonna get a high score this run. It gave me crap luck. More junk. none of this really helps at all. Worst possible items. This is pretty much what a bad arcade mode run looks like. There's certain stuff that's really good with certain characters, but when you play rogue mode, there's always a chance that you won't get it. So, have fun. It gave me a lot of really worthless stuff. See, if you have 4 to combo here, you can really kill this boss quickly, but if you don't, it's going to be really hard to build bar. Okay, you're not parrying for some reason. Pushing the block button. Give me better stuff. Pop this, so I'm doing no damage. Nice. Well, GG's, I guess. That was a pretty unfortunate run. Got a pretty bad stuff overall. But there you go. This character's kind of not fun to play in rogue mode, mostly because a lot of the other characters, they have stuff that costs 1 bar. But everything this character has costs 2, so if you don't get good meter gain, the character feels really gimp to play. But I guess that's the weakness, because he can definitely churn out a lot of damage. Oh, I got a 2 million somehow. It's not bad. Could have been a lot better, but made some bad decisions, and I also got a lot of bad RNG. So, not all the game's fault. Hey, top 4. Nice. That beats my, my Aegis score somehow. I think that character's he's just too one-sided. It's either you decimate everything with like no effort, or you struggle. That character's a lot better to play in story mode, honestly. Kind of a little bit too volatile in the roguelike mode. Oh, damn it, I didn't want to load that. Shit. No, close. I like how I closed it and it still opens.
Welcome to the Ace Mine training system.
Ragnar the Blood Noel Ban 投稿するなら今のうちです。
Let's see, what did I take again? I did take fire, so... we'll go dash burn. We'll take that. Not like it matters. I don't have anything left to do in this game. Achievements. Which apparently some of them don't even unlock right now. I don't really cares. Especially because they'll obviously add more. You get 100% now, you're just gonna have to deal with the pain of it going back down to like 78 when they do a major update. Kind of just playing for fun. What's up, Fuma? How you doing? No, they did like a minor balance patch. They haven't done anything else.
やるしかないですね。
I just finished a Dawn of the Monsters run, so I'm playing this.
やるしかないですね。 やるしかないですね。
Well, I also got better at the game too, but the problem with this game compared to Dawn of the Monsters, the roguelike mode that I just finished, is this just doesn't give you fun builds sometimes. It's like you can still clear, but it's not as fun if it gave you something you actually wanted. It's kind of the difference. Dawn of the Monsters, you have your whole moveset all the time. You don't have to pray for it or anything, but hope the update is not like late September. I definitely want to keep playing this, but I am kind of starting to run out of things to do. I don't really care about the hard mode until the game is better balanced. I don't really do hard modes just to get pissed off. It needs to feel like a fun challenge to me, otherwise I don't bother. I'm not one of those gamers that plays shit hard modes and goes nuts doing it, even though they're not having fun. It needs to be actual, like, fun for me. It's giving me really bad stats.
やるしかないですね。
You know, a lot of hardcore gamers don't want to admit this, but there's a lot of really bad hard modes in video games. More extreme example would be one of the last updates they did for Dynasty Warriors 9 was they added like ultimate mode, and basically it takes like 3 minutes of combos to kill one generic officer. It's not more difficult at all. It's just doing the same thing longer. That's a pretty extreme example, yes. Most hard modes aren't that drastically terrible, but yeah, that game is for sure. I'm like, if there's like 10 generic officers on the map, I'm sorry, it should not take like it should not take like 5 minutes of an infinite combo to kill one. That's just making the game not fun to play. It's not even harder. It's just artificially hard. And if you get clipped once, you lose like all your health. A lot of hard modes are like that. You're just doing the same thing for longer. Assault Spy was actually like that before he put out a patch to nerf it. The hardest difficulty in that game was still fun, but everything felt like it had like 4 times more health than it should. It's like I beat Assault Spy Extreme Mode pre-nerf before he nerfed it.
やるしかないですね。
That game gives you a lot of ways to avoid damage, so it's not like it was unplayable, but things just took a little bit too long. I think a good hard mode is the way that Kingdom Hearts 2 does it. Where, like, the game is harder, but you also do more damage, and then also you get like extra stuff as well. So it's not just giving the enemies more stats. I think those are like top tier hard modes. Like hard modes I'll like actually go out of my way to do. When it's just, oh, if they tap you on the shoulder, you're dead, and they have like 30 trillion health. I'm out of there. I'm not doing that. Hard pass. Basically telling me there's no reason to play the game above normal. I'm gonna make a hard mode like that. Another good example of a bad hard mode is Tales of the Abyss on New Game Plus Unknown. Because the first fight, after the tutorial, you have no access to any of your gear or anything. So you can't get stronger. That fight is the same for everybody. You fight a generic boar that takes like, I'm not exaggerating, it takes like 10 minutes to beat. Because you're doing 1 damage. Because the stats are so jacked up and you can't level up. You can't level up at that point in the game, so it takes like 10 minutes. I feel like video game designers should have to watch the video that there is on YouTube of somebody doing that. It's like 10 minutes of just pushing the attack button. So it's a generic enemy, it's not a boss. It's supposed to ease you into the game, but the stats are so inflated on the hardest difficulty that it takes like 10 minutes. The boar has like a couple hundred health, and you're only doing 1 damage. It's like, all right, this is shit. It's not even hard. It's just like the stats are so jacked up to such insane levels that you're stuck fighting a generic enemy. It's like if you tried to do chaos mode in like a Dynasty Warriors game, an older one, and it took like 10 minutes to beat a peon. That's pretty much what it would be like. If I was in charge of like an action game, I would force people to do that fight. I'd be like, look, you're not putting any HP sponges in the game. Nothing HP spongy to that level. It just feels like the game is not even respecting your time. No, I think Tales of the Abyss is one of the worst hard modes. They literally put you into a 10-minute button mashing fest that you have no control over. There's no skill that will speed it up. The Tales games, hard modes have pretty much always been like that, except for a couple exceptions. There's some good Tales hard modes, but most of them are like that. It's just increased stats. Destiny Remake's hard mode is actually pretty fun because you actually do more damage. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts 2 critical mode, but like not quite as in depth, but better than the average Tales game. Yeah, that Remnant 2 game is crazy popular. I actually know somebody who worked on that game. It's pretty nuts how popular it is. Everyone says it's a lot better than the first one. But I don't like guns, unless it's guns like this. You do crazy melee gun kata and stuff. I find shooters boring. Like bottom of the barrel for me. Unless it's Gunfire Reborn, I like that game. They just have straight melee characters. And they have a Muso amount of enemies. I like that game. That game's pretty solid. can't stand shooters. I think they're dreadfully boring. Just don't get any fun out of just clicking on heads. I need more than that. I want to do cool stuff, not just run around as some space marine with a gun. I don't really get the appeal. Unless it's like Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is pretty cool. I haven't really played it though. No, I would not like that game. I would hate that game. Because I play games with controller. I hear that game is like kind of not really possible to play on controller. Kind of like DFO. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. And I'm terrible at that kind of game, so I have no interest in playing that. I like watching people play it. It's not something I would enjoy myself. I hear like actively handicapping yourself playing that on pad. It's not like most of the stuff I play where I can play on an equal playing field. That game is definitely meant for keyboard and mouse. That game definitely does make the shooting a lot more interesting than most games for sure, though. You just click on heads and stuff, and all those games are like exactly the same. Call of Duty, all the same game over and over. The thing about Call of Duty is when they find they try to change the formula, people don't like it, so they go back to basic guys with guns. They did a couple Call of Duty games where you actually had like powers and stuff, and it was more like Unreal Tournament, but I guess people didn't like that. So now they just keep making the same game over and over. These games are sleep-inducing. We also have to deal with 8-year-olds playing it as well, which is even worse. Any video game genre where playing with prepubescent kids swearing at you is about as bad as you can get. I don't have to listen to any 8-year-olds playing this. It's just me in the game. People have their taste in games, and also the problem now is there's so many games coming out, and like 99% of them are awful, so can't really fault people for just going with what's safe. Just in Call of Duty's case, they did try to like diversify it, but people didn't like it, so they've been pretty boring boots on ground games for a long time now. Yeah, I have pretty good reaction speed for my age, late 30s. Just because I, like, almost exclusively just play stuff like this. Yeah. I also have a fighting game background as well, which helps. I don't really play fighting games that much anymore, though. Oh, well, the Call of Duty games definitely have more new stuff than the EA games do. Those are literally just the same game. Same game. I'll tell you a little trade secret. Since I've actually been to the EA office before, when I was younger, they have a store in there. I mean, this was like 15, 16 years ago, so I don't know what it's like now, but you could get brand new Madden from there for like 20, 30 bucks if you work there. And you would see like EA employees would come into our store when I was working there and just sell them for a profit. They'd make like 20 bucks a copy. They don't want to play that shit either, even though they work on it. They come in with like big stacks of them, like way more than like even somebody that was legit stealing them would ever have access to. Like big stack of Madden and FIFA, like the most basic bitch games. Like, here's like 30 copies of it. GameStop actually hates They hate sports games because they have no value. They're like the polar opposite of Pokemon. Like, Game Boy Advance Pokemon games are still like 30, 40 bucks. Like a sports game from like 2 years ago is like a meal costs more. Sports games used to be fun. They used to be fun until they made them like Sims, and then they stopped being fun. NBA Jam was a big game for me growing up, because my mom's bowling alley that she worked at for a while when I was a kid had it. I would play it. But when they started doing just the Madden games and the FIFA and stuff, like sports games just got legit boring. And they stopped making them like arcade games. They just shit. They're garbage. Could say the same for racing games as well. They barely make arcade racers anymore. It's all just like super realistic Sims. This proves that the arcade is the best. We've degraded. We've devolved. We stopped making things like the arcade. Things stopped being fun. It's interesting. No, Nintendo keeps arcade sports games alive. They're like the only ones still doing them. They got Mario Strikers, and they've done basketball before and stuff. Those games are fun. But that's because those are not designed to be realistic. They're like arcade, or like honorary arcade games. Yeah, arcade game. Once arcades started dying out, is when a lot of those video game genres just got worse. Racing games, and sports games in particular, kind of got way worse after they stopped. They stopped making them like arcade games. They got like objectively worse. I don't know. Anybody can argue that racing games are not worse, especially when the Forza games, they have to keep delisting them because they use real cars. You can still buy Burnout. You can still buy a decent chunk of the Burnouts on Xbox because they don't have real cars. Forza games had to get delisted because they don't have the rights to use the cars anymore. The other problem is that going with real cars, the car companies have like egos equivalent to pro wrestlers, where they like don't want the cars to be shown destroyed. So those games try to say they're realistic, but then they have like no car damage in the games because the car companies are egotistic. They're egotistical. It's like, alright, if this game is realistic, why is the car like pristine when I crash into the wall? It's not realistic. It's just less fun than Burnout for no reason. There's no advantage. It's worse than Burnout, and it's not even realistic because they won't show car damage. Pretty much none of the games with real cars actually have car damage. The wrestling games are all the same too. When they stopped making arcade wrestling games, those games got way worse. With the wrestling games, a lot of times it's the pro wrestlers have like egos the size of like 8th graders. They have to be portrayed in a certain way. Like, I think like with Hulk Hogan, I don't know a lot about pro wrestling, but like I think with Hulk Hogan, you couldn't make fun of him for how bald he was. So he had like the hair of like an 80-year-old when he was like 25. Apparently, you can't make fun of him for being bald. It's like, I mean, everyone knows you're bald. That dude was balding when he was like fresh out of high school. Yeah, the car companies are like that too. You can't show car damage. So it's like they're supposed to be hyper realistic. It's like they're not. They're not hyper realistic. It doesn't matter how much the car costs. If it goes into another car, the car is totaled. Period. That's why I don't understand the appeal of those games. They fail at what they're even advertising to be, which is realistic. A more realistic game would be like, maybe like Project Gotham Racing or something, which I don't think had real cars. I think that game actually had, like, fantasy cars. Yeah, like you couldn't make fun of Hulk Hogan for balding. There's also a cartoon in like the 80s where he has a full head of hair. He's not balding. He probably told them to do that. Hello. From what I've heard, Hogan burnt off what little he had left in like some kind of dying accident. So like his do-rag that he wears has like fake hair on it. I don't know who you're fooling, man. Like, I don't know a lot about wrestling though. I didn't watch like any wrestling growing up at all. I never watched any of it. It never appealed to me. I'm definitely like from the generation that was like super into wrestling. I just never got into it. I never found it interesting. Yeah, this is a game I grew up with. I grew up with this game. And somebody made a source port for it. You don't even have to pirate it because this game is on it's on GOG for like $2 every month. So I bought it. But yeah, I had this game as a kid. Epic used to make things that weren't Fortnite. They just stopped doing that. And now they suck. Yeah, this game is awesome. The movement's a little bit off in this this source port, though. I definitely noticed it's a little bit different, but I don't think you really would care about that unless you're a speedrunner. I know the speedrunners don't play this port, so I guess the movement is not accurate. Just like stuck. I don't remember what to do. My best track right here. Best track right here. There was supposed to be a Jazz Jackrabbit 3, but it got canceled. There's you can find playable footage of it on the internet. It's on the internet. But it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it would have been early 3D. And early 3D aged like milk. Yeah, there was supposed to be a Jazz Jackrabbit 3. Technically, the third game is the GBA one, but that game is way worse than 2. It's playable. It's a playable game, but I'd say it's probably the worst game in the series. Decent pixel art, but it pales in comparison to 2. But I guess they couldn't port 2 at the time. I don't even think the GBA one was made by the same people. I think it was made by a completely different team. Yeah, I don't know why Jazz 3 was canceled, but I don't think many people would have played it anyway. Kind of would have been like Castlevania 64. People would have played it when it came out, but then like when they're trying to relive their childhood, they just like most people wouldn't play that one. That's the most likely outcome with that game. I think there's like a leaked demo. I think the demo, like the alpha or something for Jazz 3 got leaked on the internet or something, like way back. It didn't look anywhere near as fun. I wasn't really even that interested in it when I found out about that when I was a kid. I don't know, a lot of the Epic games were bad. A lot of the Epic games were bad. They had a couple good games. The ones that they made themselves were pretty good. The ones that were published were pretty average quality or worse. Unreal games were good. The Jazz Jackrabbit 1 and 2 were good. The expansion for Jazz 2 is good. That's basically it. I think the most eye-opening thing of growing up in that era is that you legit had the best versions of those games in the shareware. The thing about shareware was that they would give you the first episode for free, and they would put the best stuff in there, the best bosses, the best graphics. They'd put the best stuff in there, and then if you begged your parents to register it, because it was a lot harder to get your parents to buy something back then, because it actually took mailing in money and calling a number, which is like 30 more steps than you need to do now. Now, your parent could just come in with their debit card and buy the game for you. A lot of times the full versions of those games was just more of the same. They pretty much just made them with a level editor. There were some exceptions, like Tyrion. Tyrion actually had like a lot of new stuff. There were like new weapons and modes and different things to unlock. That was worth paying for. A lot of shareware games are really shitty. I always dreamed of having them as a kid, but when I grew up and I was able to buy those games with my own money, I realized that yeah, the demo was the best part. They basically catfish you. They catfish you with those shareware demos. It's kind of interesting when we do still get demos for games. They very much do the same thing. They give you like a part of the game that's like really cool, and then like the rest might not be that great. I played through a number of games I had as a kid and managed to find the full versions, because they actually sell a lot of them on Steam. And like, yeah, it's just, they literally just made those with a level editor. They weren't like actual unique levels with unique things going on. It's pretty much just the same thing. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. If I come back tonight, it'll probably be PGR and maybe some more Dawn of the Monsters or something, but the Dawn of the Monsters DLC comes out tomorrow, so most likely in the morning. So I'm going to try to get one more video out for that in time, and if I have time after that, I'll see you guys again. Catch you later. Yeah, I'll probably boot up later tonight. I gotta have my snack and then pack up and go home, and I'll see how I feel. I'll catch you guys later.